We are backstage at the Pageant Big Time Club Show with 311. We've got Peanut and Mr. Nick Hexum joining us. Gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure to have you back in St. Louis and playing the Pageant. It's great to be able to be so close to you tonight.
You love seeing us in small places.
I do. I can't. I will not ever deny that.
It was a little off-camera, little banter we were doing. Yeah, it's good to be in small places. This is where we cut our teeth. You know, you were saying Mississippi Nights, and we did the same thing in town. But Pageant, I walked in this morning, first thing, like groggy, 9 a.m, like, we're gonna destroy this place.
Okay, now this is a question.
People that have been here too, like there's this Wall of Fame, and the owner has got a photo with all the biggest people in the world. Like, they get some great names.
It's incredible, and also too down at Blueberry Hill. I mean, what he has here at the Pageant is just like, from what I understand, it is a very small amount of his collection. And over at Blueberry Hill, there's the pictures with Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney and George Harrison. And
I'm part of all of them.
Right. All pretty established folks. So, but you guys gotta have to be on that wall somewhere. Have you not gotten a picture taken with Joe?
We're
I was gonna say.
Yeah, we're Imagine Dragons.
Well, I think you got a couple more albums under the belt than those dudes. I want to ask a question that might sound funny, but I honestly don't mean it to be funny. When you are going,
anything. I love that. That could be absolutely anything.
Right, good stuff. When you go from playing a gigantic stage to a smaller stage, is there any legit concern of, hey, we have to watch each other tonight so that we don't run into someone, so that nobody gets whacked with anything, nobody trips? Is that it? But you guys are pros, so that's probably not a deal.
I mean, you gotta imagine when we were first starting out, 22, 23, we were so out of control and wild. We had a few more on-stage collisions then, but now we all kind of just have an unspoken choreography.
I gotcha.
You know, S.A. has his lane when he's like, okay, Nick's up there, I can go around there and sweet in there.
Right, yeah. It's understood without being spoken.
I think one of the things, the last time I interviewed you, Peanut, one of the things that I'd asked you was, how had the band stayed together for so long? No lineup changes. That's almost unheard of these days. And one of the things that you said to me really struck me as that you guys kind of practice what you preach, And do you guys, will you guys see each other outside of the band times? Do you guys hang out away from 311 things? There has to be a way that you've worked out the friendships to this point that you're able to make it through these things, I would think.
Well, in the old days, we were saved by rock, paper, scissors. Big decisions were made by rock, paper, scissors.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yeah, before we were mature enough to logic things out, it was just like the sanctity of the Rocham.
Rochambeau.
But
now we just discuss things and reach a consensus, and it never, though we respect democracy, if it had to come to a vote, and luckily we're an odd number, it could be 3 versus 2, but it never really comes to that. We just keep talking things out, and to be in a band with the same guys for 27 years, you have to be ready to not get your way and realize that it's not about any one individual. It's about the collective that we had together, and it's a brotherhood.
Very good. Let's talk about the new album, Mosaic. It's out now. John Feldman in the mix on this record. I am fascinated by what this man does, because it seems like it can be Pink, it can be you guys, it can be Blink-182, it can be just this large swath of artists that he seems to have the magic touch. What is it about working with John? He definitely seems, from an outsider, very obviously being an artist himself, but he seems very artist friendly, probably lets you guys do what you do. How does he bring out the best in you?
Yeah, I mean, he does hip hop and the heaviest of metal, punk. Like he's all over the board, kind of like 311 is, you know what I mean? We like everything, and we've known him since about 20 years when we toured with Goldfinger back in 97. And, we were just kind of palling around. We lived close to each other, and thought we were kind of getting to the end of this album with 12 what we considered great songs with Scotch. And then at the last minute, I called Feldy and I was like, hey, you want to write a song? The band's down. And I went over there and just cranked out Too Much to Think in like 30 or 40 minutes. And then he was like, come back tomorrow, let's do another one. And then I got Peanut and S.A. over there, and we just cranked out 5 songs really fast, where the first 12 songs took us about 2 years, and then the last 5 songs took us like 2 weeks. So it was a totally different pace than we're used to working with. and you know, he's just like a powder keg of energy, slamming espresso nonstop, and just like, okay, go. And it was exciting, and we hope to work with him more. And it was cool because with Scotch, it's more of just the in the band kind of family vibe, and
Sure.
then with Feldy, you're kind of relinquishing the lead, the reins more to let him kind of steer you because he's such a force of nature. And it was really cool to have two completely different kind of writing experiences.
The cover art for this album is really great. Can you talk about that? I think it's a really, really neat thing.
Yeah, our management came up with the idea, I think, and it was fun to involve the fans and let them be a physical part in this photograph, making up the whole band and have it last forever. And it was like 9,000 pictures. It's cool as a art project. It turned out really sweet.
I mean, one thing I thought was striking today too, as I was kind of getting ready for this, I don't know very many other bands, and I'd have to think about it a little longer, that people will tattoo their band on. You have so many people that have 311 tattoos in one way, form, or fashion. That is such an absolute honor. I won't get a Simpsons tattoo, and that's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, I should have gotten a Simpson tattoo a long time ago.
He's got the
After
very first 311 tattoo.
That is,
3
that's
and
the
11. It's
number
the first one of anybody.
Wow.
Before the logo even existed, so he just used Roman numerals.
Yeah, it was
but-
like 93 or 94.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow night, and I don't mean to jump around topics. Tomorrow night playing Lincoln. I'm sorry that I don't know the Nebraska geography or what have you. Is that like a hometown?
You should
show?
know your geography way better.
I know I should, but is that sort of like a hometown?
4 out of
show?
5 of us went to school there for higher education.
So
Yeah, it's only an hour away from Omaha,
Yeah.
and we haven't played there for like 15 years or something.
Oh my gosh.
Who knows? Yeah, and we're playing outside, and 4,000 people already say they're going to show up. But you know what that's like.
Yeah, you know how that goes. Well, guys, just one more thing here before before we leave. First of all, thank you very much for taking the time. It's always a pleasure when we get a chance to talk to you.
How do you like the new album?
I do dig the album. I have not listened to the album from start to finish, and I'll be honest with you. And I knew you were going to probably ask that, and I didn't want to be a liar.
I like asking questions back to.
No, that's good. That's good.
I think we've done this before.
But I have. But see, the worst thing I think is if I say, "Oh yeah, I've heard it. It's great," and then you go, "What songs do you like?" And then I'm like, "Too much to think." The one that we play. I don't want to be that guy.
Honesty in journalism is where it's at.
Well, and plus too, like
It's not fake news here.
Well, and to be even more frank, I do our new music show, help put that together as well as be the music director. So man, I get a good stack every week, and I like to take my time sifting through everything.
Yeah.
I like to give everything a good listen and to give it its just due.
Right.
So sometimes, that sort of happens as well.
As long as we're in line.
I feel as though that I've disappointed you
The
in the last
cue,
couple of
somewhere.
minutes of this interview, and I don't want to do that.
No way. No
Ever?
whatsoever. No,
All right.
I like it. I like peeling the onion back.
When was the first time you met the Urge guys?
Oh gosh, we were out on the road somewhere. I wouldn't be able to remember the first time, but when we played with them, which is probably I wouldn't have seen them outside of a 311 show. I don't think, but I was scared to play with them because it was it's like animals, semi-tame animals on stage, just
Yeah, like
with the audience in their palms.
94,
or paws.
95, we toured with him multiple times.
Yeah, dozens and dozens.
Well, I mean, I remember I saw you guys, I guess this was Kansas City because it wasn't here. It was you, No Doubt, and The Urge. And it was, from start to finish, fire. And I wasn't even a huge No Doubt fan at that particular time. I mainly had went to see you guys and to see the Urge. But they were absolutely incredible. And that's one thing that I think is amazing with your live show, is that it's transitioned through all these years to still be this energy-filled 2 hours of awesomeness. You know what I mean? Like, as everybody's gotten older, we're still rocking. We're doing well.
Yeah, we were raised on it. That's all we know how to do. You can't stop a beaver from making a dam. That's all we know.
Don't even try and stop a beaver.
I think this is
Have you tried to stop a beaver?
never
lately?
once, wouldn't, and this is the perfect way to end this interview, I believe. Peanut, Nick Hexum, thank you so very much for your time.